Since many of you actually might build experiments having to do with skill builders, I want to actually show you what a template is and how many skill builders are constructed. We've already talked about, actually on this page, about actually this particular experiment where we actually were comparing some survey questions. I'm going to ignore the experiment here for this purpose and just talk about, see all these questions, they all actually have, they all probably look very similar. There are a bunch of these saying multiplication. Notice some of these actually have these same numbers here. See this number and this number? It's because they're actually generated from the same template. And these guys are generated from the same template. How can I tell that? Well, let me actually just go in here and actually take this one. Let me go in here and actually show you how one is made. So here's actually one of these multiplication and fraction questions. Here it is. This is the particular instance. It's got an answer of blah, 3, 5, 30 seconds. I can see what the common wrong answers are. You won't be able to see that because you don't own this item. More importantly though, see this parent thing? Let me click on parent and actually show you, this is the template. This is the template that generated this. Here are actually, here is kind of the form of this, and here some student at WPI actually did something generating some random numbers and some complicated little bits of math to actually probably find common denominators and all sorts of stuff to actually compute the answer. On the top of it, I have no idea actually all the details behind that, but it generates actually many different ones. So this guy, key aspect though, is this template ID and this template code. If you see it actually in one of these files, that actually will tell you. I don't like how I ended actually that without showing you the template ID and what that's about. Let me actually show you the place that we're trying to actually document how to actually interpret actually your data. And so you can go to the assessment data sets. You can actually find all the data that actually we've done for most of the studies published upon. We anonymize it and actually make it actually publicly available. Right here, actually, by the way, 2012, 2013, you can actually get actually all the data we produced last year. There would be like, I don't know, 10 million rows because there was about 10 million problems solved. There's a bunch of studies that actually I've done with Ryan Baker related to all of that. Anyways, what are the column headings that actually are associated? At this website, we actually try to actually tell you what they are. Some of them actually are kind of easy to understand. I actually made some videos where I talk about differences between what is the original problem, what is the main problem, what is an assessment, what it means to actually be correct or incorrect, what the first action is, what the hint count is, what is a bottom-out hint, the start time and end time. There's things like overlap time, which I'm actually telling you about, even though it's being computed incorrectly right now. I'm sure we will actually remove some of these. There's a few, and we'll actually add some as actually things become more relevant, like actually estimations of actually students' grades, as well as actually estimations of students' gender is not actually documented here, but we will probably actually take the names of actually from students and actually let you know stuff. So I don't bother going over every one of the details in all of these, but I thought actually I'd point you to these sites so you can actually see this. And here we actually tell you about the template ID, which we were just talking about. So if you ever see template ID and you're wondering what that is, there it is. You now know.